The Third Amendment to the United States Constitution is one of the least litigated and least controversial provisions in the Bill of Rights, yet its historical significance remains vital. Ratified on December 15, 1791, it was designed to prevent the forced quartering of soldiers in private homes without the owner's consent. The amendment states, "No soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law." The origins of the Third Amendment can be traced back to British policies in colonial America, particularly the Quartering Acts of 1765 and 1774. Under these laws, British soldiers were given the right to forcibly occupy homes and buildings belonging to American colonists. This was seen as an extreme violation of personal liberty and property rights, fueling widespread resentment against British rule. The most infamous example of forced quartering occurred in Boston, where British troops were stationed to enforce British laws and suppress growing unrest. Colonists were compelled to house and feed soldiers without any form of compensation, leading to tensions that contributed to the American Revolution. The presence of foreign troops in private homes without permission was viewed as tyrannical, and many saw it as a means of government intimidation and control. After the United States gained independence, the Founding Fathers sought to ensure that such violations of privacy and property would never happen again. The Third Amendment was included in the Bill of Rights as a direct response to these grievances, emphasizing the principle that citizens should not be forced to accommodate military personnel against their will. Unlike other amendments in the Bill of Rights, the Third Amendment has rarely been the subject of Supreme Court cases or major legal disputes. However, its underlying principles have influenced broader privacy rights and property protections. The amendment reinforces the idea that the government cannot infringe upon private property without due process, a concept that has been cited in cases involving search and seizure laws, property rights, and military authority. One of the few notable references to the Third Amendment came in Griswold, Connecticut, 1965, a landmark case dealing with the right to privacy. While the case focused on contraceptive access, the Supreme Court referenced the Third Amendment as part of a broader argument that the Constitution protects individual privacy from government intrusion. Another rare but relevant case was Inglum v. Carey, 1982, in which New York corrections officers challenged their forced eviction from state-provided housing to accommodate National Guard troops during a strike. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit ruled that the Third Amendment applied to National Guard soldiers, confirming that government-imposed military occupation of private residences was unconstitutional, even in modern times. While the Third Amendment is seldom invoked in legal battles, its importance extends beyond its specific prohibition against quartering troops. It reflects a larger philosophy of limited government power, ensuring that individuals are not subject to unnecessary military presence or control in their homes. The amendment underscores the fundamental right to personal security, privacy, and property ownership, principles that remain essential in debates over government authority. In modern discussions, the Third Amendment has been referenced in privacy and surveillance debates, particularly in the context of domestic military operations, law enforcement overreach, and the use of technology for government monitoring. Some legal scholars argue that its principles could be extended to modern forms of governmental intrusion, such as the use of military-grade surveillance equipment in civilian areas. Even though the Third Amendment has not been tested as often as other constitutional protections, it remains a powerful reminder that the founders of the United States were deeply concerned about the abuse of military power. It continues to serve as a safeguard against government overreach, reinforcing the idea that citizens' homes should remain free from unwarranted military intrusion, a protection that, while often overlooked, remains highly relevant in defending civil liberties today.